small business, big dream show. It's a small business, big dream show. It's a small business, big dream show. And we wanna know what you know. It's a small business, big dream show. It's a small business, big dream show. It's a small business, big dream show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thank y'all for tuning in to a new episode of Small Business Big Dream Show. I'm your host, Aaron, and this is my guest.
I'm Benny Emery from Saint Michel Café.
And where's this located?
This is located in Brooklyn, to be exact, Bushwick, New York.
Okay, what's the address? Give them the address.
462 Irving Ave, 11237.
Okay, make sure y'all come out and support a small business. Black owned?
Yes, and Asian owned as well.
Okay.
Black
so
and Asian
dope.
owned.
Okay, dope. Where did you grow up, and how did that shape you on who you are today?
So I'm originally from Queens. Just being a Queens kid. Like that borough's kind of like we're kind of like our own little world in New York. So like I was into like art, fashion, pop culture. Unfortunately, it wasn't many places where I can go to learn that in Queens. So I usually had to go to Manhattan, like downtown to be exact, and I had to go down there and kind of just meet my tribe.
Okay. Where you from in Queens?
I'm from this place called Rosedale.
Rosedale?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your childhood like? Any key moments that influenced your path?
Oh man. Like my childhood was pretty chill. You know what I mean? I had a great family around me. I had a great mother. I had a great sister, a brother that would just always look out for me. Kind of took care of me. Just being over there. Like once again, I was just into like a lot of stuff that New York kids was into. Just hanging out, riding my bike. Just doing my thing. And
That's dope.
yeah.
Who were your biggest inspirations growing up?
Oh man. Like I would have to say, obviously the person that my story is inspired by, that's John Michel Basquiat.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did he inspire you? Like,
Well, yeah. So like John Michel, he was originally from Brooklyn, right? And he was into all these things like art and all these type of things that at the time, like I guess he wasn't getting in a particular area, even though like he was going to a Brooklyn Museum and all this type of stuff, but he wanted to go out and seek out more.
Okay.
So he went to Soho, and he was over there just trying to find his path, and that story kind of resonated with me because I kind of felt like that was my path, just being in Queens.
dope.
So so I had to leave Queens and I had to go down to Soho myself and kind of like get a job over there and try to figure out my path over there.
Soho used to be a good place to chill at.
Exactly.
I used to go down there and chill.
Yeah, man. Yeah, had good vibes over there.
Great vibes. So you see his paintings is selling for millions and millions of dollars.
Absolutely.
Have you ever seen one?
Absolutely. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. So, hey, like I went to like the Basquiat exhibit a few years ago. Such an amazing exhibit.
Crazy,
yeah.
right?
No, absolutely.
Oh my God. What kind of dreams did you have as a kid?
Oh man, I had a million dreams, man. I was doing it all.
Mm-hmm.
I guess like a New York kid, like you want to be a rapper, you want to
Right.
do it all, man. I had a rhyme book and everything. I was doing whatever I thought it was. I was playing basketball, I was trying to play football, I was doing all that stuff.
Whatever to make it, right?
Right. Yep.
Did you always see yourself doing this?
Not this in particular. Like the whole like baking and all that stuff. Like my mom was a baker, so so it kind of came naturally. But I wasn't planning on being a baker. Once again, like I was trying to do a whole bunch of other stuff. You know what I mean? But like when I got to my 20s, I went to school, and then when I got out, I was doing marketing, and I was just like, I hate marketing. So I got out of marketing, and I just started doing a whole bunch of other stuff, like promoting parties, photography, all types of stuff, and it kind of just led me back onto this path of food and culinary and all that good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like any New York kid, we just do a bunch of everything.
A bunch of everything. That's just how New York is, right?
So that's the bacon sparked this idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
How long you been baking?
Oh man, I guess all my life. Like just helping my mom just in the kitchen. Like when she needed me to go get eggs for her or something like that. It just comes naturally. So.
When did you know like I could sell this? When was that moment where you knew that your pastries was great enough to sell?
Absolutely. Well, like to be honest, like I didn't know until, so like I was promoting a party one time, and I had this DJ at the time, and her name was Aquafina.
Okay.
But she happened to go on to be like an actress and win all type of awards. But at the time, she was a DJ, and then I was like, oh yo, like hey, maybe I should go like do something nice for her because it was her birthday, and I was like, let me go make her like a cookie or cupcake, and me and my partner who's outside right now, like we were like, oh, like can we do it? And then she's like, let me try. So she went and she like made her face on a cupcake, and we was just like, that's hilarious. So we like gave it to Aquafina, and she loved it, and she was just like, this is amazing. She posted it, and yeah, and then it blew up, and then we're like, maybe we're on to something, and then we just kept going from there.
So how long you been doing this?
Ah man, about like 10 years now.
10 years?
Yeah.
Okay, how long you been a business owner?
Ah man, that's a. I feel about like what I mean. I don't know, man. Like all my life, honestly, because I've always been doing like little stuff. You know, what I mean, I have like just like little knickknacks. Like just always trying to learn about just being an entrepreneur. Just even like my heroes at the time, like when I was a kid, being like people like Jay-Z, Dame Dash, and like and all these figures. I'm not gonna say the other name of the person because, but yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, just like just all these moguls at the time,
Okay.
So yeah, so yeah.
That's dope. What's one lesson from your upbringing that still guides you today?
Ah man, just being honestly just being self-aware.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like knowing your flaws, and and yeah, like just being aware of who you are, and just being okay with that. So
I agree.
yeah.
I agree. What challenges did you face early on in life that made you stronger?
Oh man, that's a good question. I mean, once again, I mean, like I feel like just being like self-aware of stuff. I always just kind of like roll with the punches. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like like I never looked at anything. I was just like, oh man, this is hard. I'm just like, all right, like how do we adjust and how do we just keep it moving? So I mean, like that's just kind of my attitude.
Where you
Till
get
this
that?
day.
Where you get that mindset from? Like, did you learn that from like your watching your moms keep going or your father keep going? Like,
Yeah.
where did you learn that from?
Like to be honest, like I kind of feel like just being young and just like facing like adversity in whatever like it might be, and just being like, like how do I go about this? Like, do I make this affect me in a negative way, or do I kind of just pivot and go another way? I kind of just honestly just being like a New Yorker. I kind of feel like that's like a New York type of thing, right? So yeah,
Once you step outside, you gotta roll with the punches, right?
You got to, right?
Was there a defining moment in your life that changed your direction?
Oh man, but probably meeting my partner. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, like when I met my partner, I was like I was just doing a bunch of stuff, just trying to figure out my way, and and she kind of like directed me, and was like, all right, like this is how we do it. You know what I mean? Because she has like a very like technical mind, so like she definitely made me more of a more like focused person.
Yeah, we need those sometimes.
Absolutely.
So where did you meet your partner at?
Oh man, I met my partner on Tinder.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. That's
Absolutely,
dope.
absolutely. Yeah, like what, like 11 years ago.
Oh, look at God.
Yeah. Like we bonded over baking, honestly, like baking and fashion, and yeah, and from there we kind of been just going with just all these businesses that we have.
Dang, that's dope.
That's
dope. That's dope.
Yeah, man.
What role did your family and your community play in shaping your ambition?
Oh man, I mean, I kind of just feel like well, I mean, like my brother, like he's an entrepreneur too because he has like a barber shop. I kind of felt like like just from afar, because like he's a little older, but just like watching him just kind of just be like his own boss, that made me kind of want to do that as well.
What's the name of his barbershop?
Oh, it's called Top 5 in Astoria. Check it out.
In Astoria?
Yeah.
You know the address at the top?
At the moment, no. Sorry,
So
brother.
shout out to his brother, man.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel pressure to follow a different path?
I wouldn't say no. I mean, like I don't think so. I mean, I'm kind of always like knowing like man, like like what I gotta do. You know what I mean? Like of course you might switch it up and like the same way like I was a photographer and I was like, oh, like I want to do fashion. You know what I mean? So I was trying a bunch of things, but I always knew what I wanted to do at that time I was doing it. So
okay, that's dope. That's dope. If you can go back and tell your younger self something, what would it be?
Honestly, nothing. I kind of feel like I was like always. Honestly, I feel like the same. I'm just older. Honestly, yeah, man. I kind of feel like I'm just the same person. I'm just older, a little bit more wiser. And that's it. Just kind of just just like live your life.
Have one thing. Oh, okay.
Because you know why? Because like without the trials and tribulations, I wouldn't be the person I am today. So why be like, oh yo, like don't go down, like don't make a left.
True,
you know what I mean?
true,
Like no,
true,
take
true.
that left. Oh, word, like you see those dudes on the block, walk past them, see what happens. You know what I mean? Like that's just
Nah, that's dope. That's dope. Looking back, what's the biggest lesson you What is the biggest lesson you learned on your journey?
Um, I mean, just go with the punches.
Okay.
I mean, like you can't control what's gonna come to you, good or bad. You just
Hmm.
gotta roll with the punches. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
How
Something like
has your past influenced the way you run your business today?
that. Knowing your role in business. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like you can't do it all. You know what I mean? Just like know what you're good at and
Stick
just
to it.
stick to it. You know what I mean? And if you have a partner, just like compromising and knowing like you're good at this, I'm good at that.
Hmm.
So
So you like working with people? Like you like?
absolutely,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, man, like having a community around you is always very important for business and
Hmm.
just being a person. So,
So how did y'all pick this location if you're not from Brooklyn?
oh man, so I mean, yeah, like that journey was a little wacky. So my partner's aunt, she's also like a realtor, and she was like, oh, like I got a spot to show you. This is during like the pandemic, and we came and we checked it out. And I mean, mind you, like I've been to Bushwick, but I haven't. I mean, but I don't like come around all the time.
Mm.
So like so when I first came around, I was like, okay, like Bushwick's cool. You know what I mean? Like we checked it out, and we're like, yeah, I mean, like like we'll take it. But at the time, the landlord said no for whatever reason, and fast forward, we actually decided to move to Bushwick, and we were here, and my partner's mom went to the laundromat because the laundromat people also the landlord for this
Oh, okay.
place. So my partner's mom went in there and somehow they got a conversation and they were talking, and then she found out that like that was her mom, and she was just like, okay, I understand why you guys want to do this, and she
Hmm.
actually decided to give us the spot.
Dope.
So we came and and we were living in Bushwick. We had the cafe in Bushwick, but we also didn't want to just come to any neighborhood and just be like, oh, we here and we just gonna just put a coffee shop
Hmm.
somewhere. You know what I mean? Like we want to be of the community.
True.
You know what I mean? So I mean, so like we definitely took like the first year or two to actually like bring ourselves into the community, help out, go to like community meetings, talk to
Okay.
locals, go to a park, talk to the
Tap back
people.
in with the community.
God, you got to.
Hmm.
That's number one. I mean, like that's like a lot of issues that's happening all over New York right now.
Yeah, the people
It's
just popping up.
just popping up, just
Yeah,
opening businesses,
agree.
and just trying to like just take advantage of whatever like might be happening in those areas. You know what I mean? And I mean, like we're not one of those people. You know what I'm saying? So
That's dope. So,
thank you.
do y'all do any events to give back?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, fun fact, man. I feel like you should come in. Sorry, I think my partner should talk about this one. I'm sorry. Can she come
Come
in?
on, yeah.
Get up in here. Get up here. Nah. I mean, like she would explain this better than me because I help her out, but she's really the one that really does that part. Come up
Okay.
here. So, get up in there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, the
yeah.
mic. Y'all gonna have to
Yeah.
switch the mic.
Or
We can just
she
I
can
can
talk, right?
talk to it.
You
Right?
get it?
That's cool, right?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Carolina, Benny's partner.
Okay.
The community question's always such a big and like inspirational part for us because moving to this neighborhood like really changed a lot of things for me personally as well as with him. So tapping into the community, we got really involved with the dog community because we
Okay.
had just gotten a puppy during pandemic. We had lost our first puppy of 13 years, and
Sorry to hear that.
it's okay because he really inspired everything we do with our community. So we started going to the park. We started, just coming together with everybody and getting to know all the neighborhood people and realizing that there isn't a dog park in our park. So we wanted to just kind of figure out, like for me, I just took on this thing as a side thing of like figuring out how to get a dog park built in New York City and how to get it approved.
Dope.
Long story short, that became a whole thing where apparently I found out in history they've been trying to do this for over 10 years in this neighborhood.
That's
But
great.
there's been a lot of like, issues behind it, whether it's the community not wanting it and thinking that bringing a dog park to the park would bring more people to gentrify the location.
Mhm.
So really we had to build like trust and honesty with the community and know that we're there to like, so we started a group called Friends of Irving Square Park at the park, and pretty much we started cleaning up the park, getting to know our neighbors, knocking on doors, finding out what people want. And long story short, it took about 3 years, and our community board a few months ago just unanimously voted for $3 million towards a dog park, as
Dope.
well as $7 million towards a new children's playground, as well as new bathroom in our park. So
And
really
where this
making
park is located at?
Irving Square Park,
Yeah.
it's just a few blocks behind us, but really the heart of Bushwick over here.
Okay.
So that's where everything happens, and we're going to continue working with that. We have, we're applying for grants to provide free like physical yoga classes, exercise classes for the community, and all of that really is just like how we love this community. And they come back and show us, like they come to our business and be like, we appreciate everything we're doing and everything, but honestly it's like to us it's our passion,
That's
to be
dope.
able to build community.
When you love something, you're gonna do it extra harder, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, and without this cafe, that wouldn't have happened. So.
That's
Yeah.
dope. Took a leap of faith.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah. I feel like we've created so much impact in 3 years, and it really forces us to believe like this was our destiny to come to this neighborhood and get to know this neighborhood and to really make real true impact in our local community, because I know it's hard to do something in such a national level. It's really important for people to understand, to go and be part of your community, go attend community board meetings.
Agree.
Those are the people that make the changes.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
A lot of people need to know that when we can vote, we can speak out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people need to know that, because they just let it go like right past.
They really do.
Yeah.
What's one misconception people might have about you or your journey?
That it was easy, that we came from money or anything like that.
That's just a regular thing, right? So when somebody see you owning something, they come from money.
They see the opportunities we've had. They've seen that we were on Forbes or the celebrities that we've worked with, and they think, oh, they must have had some sort of connect or whatever. And all those connections were worked on like
from
through
ground
him, from ground up. Him being like a New York hustler and like being super like.
Dope.
I mean, I remember him just waking up one day and being like, I want to work with MSG. I'm like, all right. And he's like, go make this cookie of this person's face. I'm going to get it to MSG. I'm like, all right. And within like 36 hours, we had a meeting at MSG.
Look, New York City
that is
ambition,
like,
right?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Unmatched.
That's what it was.
Hey, man, you got to do it. You got to go out there, you got to make it work. So.
I swear we so good at that.
We are, man.
Yo, I don't know what it is, but it's just like it's in us to go for it. Like whatever it is. Like how you just say he just thought of it and he went for it. That's the same like how I got this.
Absolutely.
I just thought of it and I'm like, I'm doing it.
Absolutely.
I don't want to hear your opinion. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm doing it. I see the vision. It's only for me.
And I think that's like one lesson that I would always tell anybody that wants to be an entrepreneur or anything like that is don't think about it, because the time you think about it, that's when you're going to lose that opportunity. So you got to do it. And I learned it from him. I think of things through, like you said, I was very technical. I think things through. I like overthink things, but then I need him as my partner to be like, stop thinking, just do it. And then you do it. Whether you fail, you win. It doesn't matter. Lesson learned.
Yeah,
exactly.
Either way. What keeps you motivated and when things get tough?
Just know why you did it in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, just be like, like just remember like the goals that you was doing and being like, and I mean, but like I'm assuming if you're sitting there thinking about that, a couple of things have happened between you starting and that present time that has happened that you're like, I got really far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And and just be proud of what you've done. The work. So.
Good or bad.
Good or bad. Good or bad. You know what I mean?
Lesson learned.
Exactly.
The community, the people you've influenced or changed or have come up to you to tell you inspired me, like that's I think what drives us.
Priceless.
It is, because you don't think that you're being seen until somebody comes up to you and said, well, your story inspired me to do this, and I'm like, all right, so we're doing the right thing.
That's what we're here for, right?
Absolutely.
Got to keep passing the baton. If your story were a book or movie, what would be the title?
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Really terrible at names.
Well, I'm gonna go off a show that I liked and got canceled. How to Make It in America.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's dope. How to Make It in New York.
Exactly.
How to Make It in New York.
That's yours.
Yeah.
That's
There
yours.
you go.
See?
I'm taking
Alley-oop. 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 What legacy do you hope to leave behind?
Oh man. Hopefully this for our kids. To keep it going. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people that look like me, I've never seen like a legacy, what I mean? Like passed down, like, like seeing like, like the same way you can go to Manhattan right now, you just see a bunch of like kids walking around and be like, oh, like your dad did this and did that. I want to do that for my generation of kids. So.
I mean, this story is your legacy. This is something he's dreamed of since he was a kid, because he didn't have access to something like this. So now he's giving this to the next generation, the knowledge, the inspiration, and all that.
So how do you feel pouring into his dreams?
I am grateful for it, because he's really changed a lot of who I am. Like I was born in Taiwan. I grew up in South America, and then I ended up in North Carolina. So I was like a Southern girl coming up to New York. But I was a fashion major. I worked in fashion for over 16 years, and like I knew New York is where I was gonna be, but I knew that I needed to meet somebody that loved New York as I did from an outside perspective. And he taught me a lot about like life. He always tells me how inspired like he has seen my change, especially in this neighborhood and like making all the community changes that I've made. And I would have never, like 10 years ago, I would have never seen Carolina doing that. You know, he gave me the, you know, the courage to step up and like you said, like just do it and stop thinking too much about it. Because my biggest fear was coming to New York and being a nobody. And now I feel like, you know, my mom maybe I didn't pick the path that I had asked. A, number one, I wasn't like a doctor, and B, then I chose fashion, and then like C, I met a guy who wanted me to be an entrepreneur, drop everything and be a baker. And my mom and dad were like, "What are you doing?" But then they see what we did. They came in here and saw the shop, and they got really emotional because they were proud of me. No matter what of what we accomplished, he's like, "We get it now." So it's a great, for me, it's like my immigrant story, and I'm grateful for that.
It's back to the question, right? Where I said, like, you got to start somewhere, right? Everybody's not going to see the vision, whether it's family, anybody. You just got to go for it, build it, and then they'll see it. Like, oh, that's what you was doing. Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Exactly.
The thing that you thought I was supposed to not do,
I did it.
Look, and it came out to be something great. How do you define success, not just in business, but in life?
I mean, to be honest, I don't know. For me, I mean, because I mean, had I know success to me is just me just being happy and just currently, I mean, just like putting my friends on and just having fun. You know what I mean? And I mean, like a lot of times, like friends be like, "Yo, like you're a success, you're successful," and that you know, and that word's kind of overwhelming because, like to me, I'm just like, what does that even mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm just like I'm just locked in, just trying to like do what I could do for my community. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, so hey, like I guess me helping my community is success.
Dope.
Yeah. So, and I feel like success is not a goal; it's like a temporary thing, you know. And I think you're constantly looking for the next part in your life that fulfills you in a certain way. So I feel like it changes all the time, and I think in this moment in life is balancing work and life, and you know, enjoying the impact that you've already created, and then just seeing what the next steps are. Because for us, it's not always the same story all the way through. It's gonna continue to evolve and change.
Get better and better.
Yeah.
Do y'all what's the next steps? Like what's next for y'all? If you don't mind spilling the beans.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, right now I'm just having fun, just doing what I'm doing with Saint Michel. I mean, I guess we were talking about it because I mean, you know, hey, like we are bakers and we do like the economic thing. That's kind of, you know, like the thing that keeps everything going. But you know, like we would like to like just kind of like, you know, like probably take time away from that and just focus on just Saint Michel and just helping the community. You know what I mean? I mean, like we're just having, you know, like we're just having fun, and I feel like we're very focused on just doing that. So.
I mean, in the future, you know, I see myself opening another one of these, but making it like a dog cafe or something. Something that I have a lot of like passion about, rescue work, and you know, something that we've already created a community for. So.
Do y'all make like pastries for dogs?
Yeah, we do. We do dog cakes, cupcakes, dog parties.
Yeah, man, we do a bunch of stuff, man.
Yeah,
you won't believe it's a whole community, like
it's a huge
big
community.
Absolutely.
My dog has every year she has an ice cream party for her friends, and we host it outside. And my friend who actually owns a business called Pupper Cup, and she literally has a dog ice cream truck that comes and just serves.
Now she's always like all over the place.
Always all over. She's from the
There's
Bronx.
money in the
Bronx.
dog.
Y'all gotta connect me with her.
Absolutely.
She's in the Bronx, and she travels all over doing pop-ups everywhere, and she sells in like local pet shops too. So.
Dope. So where did the pigeon come from?
Oh man, New York. You know what I mean? Once again, man, I just love New York, man. It's just, you know what I mean? Like you could tell from the store, like everything. I just love New York, you know. So I mean, the pigeon is, I mean, it's the symbol of New York, you know. And you know, I mean, like we put a fitted hat on them, we put Timberlands on them. That's the most New York shit ever.
What
so, you know
ever?
what I mean?
Ever.
So, you know,
what is it made with?
So this right here, like those like ginger snaps. Yeah,
Okay.
so you know,
it's great
yes,
for like dipping into the coffees and the
yeah.
tea and stuff.
Oh, dope.
But yeah, this guy, it's kind of just become like a mascot here for us, and like
Yeah.
a signature item. And I think it's kind of our brand. It's quirky, it's New York, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Straight to it.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Ain't nothing bigger than that, right?
Absolutely.
How do you hope to inspire with your story?
Oh man, I mean, Saint Michel is it. You know what I mean? Like, like I built this for the next generation to come and learn about fashion art. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Hey, when I was a kid, I didn't have those things to to go and like seek out. I had to really go look for it. You know what I mean? Hey, for the kids in this community, they could just come here and they can read old school vintage magazines
Right.
from the '90s and books and learn about a person like Basquiat who was a half Puerto Rican, half Haitian. You know what I mean? And Bushwick, a lot of Puerto Ricans, a lot of blacks. You know?
Right.
Like they can go learn about like who's this guy and why has his painting sold for $100 million.
Crazy.
It's like you can be the next Basquiat.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
Definitely
like that's
could.
kind of my mission.
That's
To
dope.
educate. So
That's dope.
thank you.
What's next for you? Any dreams or goals you're still chasing?
Ah man. I mean, of course, man. Like we always like chasing dreams. Like you said that like Dog Cafe.
Mhm.
Me, who knows? Probably open up another Saint Michel. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just but we're just having fun right now.
That's
You know what I
dope.
mean?
That's
Like we're just enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
For the
You
first
ever
time.
going back to you gonna build something in Queens?
Ah
The
man.
next one gonna be in Queens?
You know what? I definitely thought about it. I've definitely thought about going back to Queens and just trying to figure it out.
Mhm.
The thing about Queens, we're a little bit more spaced out.
Yes.
So you
Queens
know what
is
I mean?
Huge.
Yeah. So yeah, so like trying to figure out a spot where people just walking around and come into a coffee shop is a little hard, but I'm looking into it. For
That's
sure.
dope. That's dope.
Thank
That's
you,
dope.
brother.
For me, it's it's same thing. It's kind of continue to build what we have and really build on community. Open the dog cafe. If you walk by, dogs are always in front of our cafe. That's why. So I mean that, and then also just enjoying life together as a couple. We've been
Mhm.
together celebrating 11 years this year.
Oh, God is
And
good.
yeah,
God is
and
good.
that's like when you know that you've met your soulmate, and
Mhm.
wanting to make sure we still spend those times together and like to enjoy what we've built together. So
That's dope.
family,
Absolutely.
whatever it may be in the future.
Yeah.
I see y'all met online.
Online,
On
yeah.
And look what
Many
look
moons
what this
ago.
brung.
On Tinder.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. It's been
That's not
We're waiting
crazy.
for that Tinder
It-
check whenever that comes.
That's what I'm really trying to get. But yeah, nah, man, it's not. It's been a crazy journey, and it's been fun.
Y'all wasn't scared to go online and try to find a mate?
I mean, well, you know what?
'Cause
Like,
we know
I
you
just
coming from New York.
yeah.
We fake shy away from it. Like, man, I might meet the wrong person. Like,
yeah.
I'll be
you gotta
talking to a face like a picture, and then the person
Oh,
show up
yeah.
and it's not them. Like,
That's why you gotta
catfish.
meet somewhere public. So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
it's
yeah.
bad, you go, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
At least we didn't start dating when AI was around. That would have been
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
That'd been
I can only
crazy.
imagine how that's. Yeah.
So, what was the first date like?
The first date was, I mean, yeah, like it was.
Quite fun.
Well, I mean, the first date, like I was sick. So yeah, like we met at Miss Lily's. Is the one still open? I'm not even sure if it's
No,
still
the
open.
one it was on the one on Houston.
The
It
one
was
on
closed
Houston,
now.
unfortunately, like it's closed now. But yeah, like we went to Miss Lily's and
I was mad late.
you were mad late, so I was always about to leave because I was just like, all right, she ain't here, so I'm about to dip. And she actually come like 30 minutes later.
Yeah, I locked myself out of the house.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
called him. I was like, let me call him so he
Yeah.
hears my voice and he knows that I'm not like bailing on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was funny. Like he wasn't really talking at first, and I was just like, all right, I'm
'Cause
just
I
gonna
was
keep
sick.
drinking because he was sick, and he was like, I'm sick, and I'm like, why didn't you just wait till next week or something? And he was like, nah, I didn't want to wait. I'm like, all right. So, and some girl next to us, she had an exploding bottle of jerk sauce in her eye. It was like crazy. It was a crazy night. But no, we ended it. And then the next week, it was his birthday party. He invited me to that. And then I met tons of his like friends. And I was like, oh, this is something different. So, and then it just kind of.
11 years
really
later.
11 years later.
11 years later.
Crazy.
We're still here. We haven't killed each other. And like, there is something about working with your partner and being with your partner. It's something you learn a lot about humanity and being in a relationship and everything like that. It's just being compassionate and listening and communicating and giving each other space and grace.
Yes,
Absolutely.
communication is key.
Yeah.
It's true.
What's the best piece of advice you can give to anyone chasing their dreams?
Oh man.
Don't think about it. Just do it. Like, just do it. Don't regret anything.
Like, have fun. You know what I mean? Because because I kind of miss the old days of like just like doing a project, like just like running up on people and being like, "Yo, I'm doing this
Hmm.
big company or whatever the case may be," And that was the fun part, was the hustle part. But now, when money is in it, now you like you have to do it a certain way because
Hmm.
money is involved. And that can kind of take out the fun with
Yeah.
money. You know what I mean? Like Biggie says, more money, more problems.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, so just enjoy the moment. Just enjoy the
Did
moments.
either one of y'all go to school for business?
So I went to school for marketing.
Okay.
Hated it, and you went for
Yeah,
like fashion,
design,
so
and
yes, so not business.
yeah.
So y'all just learned this on the way.
Got to.
LLC,
Yeah,
then
yeah. I mean, the cafe had
Just-
no freaking clue how to open a cafe at
Yeah.
all, and it was literally all the connections we've made over the years with friends that have done similar things, and just asking the questions, like being
Mhm.
vulnerable and being like, I have no clue what I'm doing, but I want to do it. Like, how
Yeah.
can you help me?
Absolutely.
And then they'll either say yes or no, and you just kind of sometimes you just don't be scared to reach out for help.
Yes.
Like, you never know, and then in the end you'll realize how much of a support system you really have around you.
Okay,
Absolutely.
that's dope. So someone could come in and get all that type of information from y'all. Like if they needed to open up a business, y'all willing?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, like, see, like that's the thing about us also being here and being baristas. We're also like like people's like therapists sometimes.
Dope.
You know what I mean? Like people come and they talk about their problems and we're pretty good at giving like information, because we actually care. You know what I mean? So so absolutely, like if you want to come chop it up, I'm always here for that.
That's
Yeah.
dope. Where could they find y'all at?
Here at Saint Michel Café at 462 Irving Ave. I'm here most of the time, or you can just DM us on Saint Michel or Eat Good NYC, and we can set up a meeting if you want.
There you go, y'all. We out just like that. Peace.